Trilogy here. Welcome to Trilogy Talk, episode 2. Thank you for following along on my podcast journey. We're going to be going over a bunch of different topics. If you didn't like the long format video last time, this one's probably going to be even longer because I actually was doing much better at keeping up with topics throughout the week. But I really like this long format content that we're doing. I'm Trilogy with Trilogy Effect. On my channel, we do all kinds of things, all different types of topics. We do gaming, anime, D&D, manga, movies, all kinds of reviews, tech stuff every once in a while. You can look at the background. You can see all kinds of stuff. I got some anime, Game of Thrones, manga, some books, D&D, Star Wars, movies, all kinds of stuff. That's the type of stuff I do on my channel. I do stuff that I'm interested in. And with that said, if you like what I'm doing, if you want to support the channel, I do have a Patreon link down below. Just stop by, donate $1 or whatever you want to do. If you want to help support the channel, I do appreciate that. If you want to do even better than that, you can subscribe because we're still on a journey to get 1,000 subscribers, trying to monetize this channel. I don't do any type of sponsorships or any of things like that, not because I couldn't get them, even though I'm a small channel. There's lots of things I give out sponsorships, Canva, TubeBuddy, Crunchyroll, not to discount any of those things. That's just not stuff that I like to watch when I'm watching videos. And I want to give my viewers the same type of experience. But that does make it harder to make a profit off of a channel like this. So like I said, I do have my Patreon down below. And I also would appreciate like, comment, and subscribing on my channel. With that said, let's jump into it today. Today we're going to be talking about a bunch of different things. Starting off, we're going to talk about Sonic 2. I know a lot of people who still haven't seen the first Sonic movie. Why? Why haven't you seen the first Sonic movie? First Sonic movie is really good. Surprisingly so, because I know everyone was really salty about the first trailer, and trust me, what is this? What is this? Anyways, the first Sonic actually turned out to be surprisingly good. I probably, if I had to rate it, it's probably like a 7.5, maybe an 8 out of 10. It's really good. And I mean, I'm really excited for the second one. We got my boy Knuckles in there. I was never a really big Knuckles fan, but I can respect him. You know what I'm saying? Like, in the first movie, it was cool, but we didn't really have a lot of the trademark Sonic movies. There weren't Sonic characters. There wasn't Shadow, there wasn't Knuckles, there wasn't Tails, there wasn't Amy. You know, Sonic actually has a character problem because there's so many characters, but even those like 4 main characters, we didn't have any of those guys in there. So it didn't feel like much of a Sonic movie. In this movie, there's a little more room because we've got the origin set up. They're going to be able to add at least 2 new characters. We're going to have Knuckles, and we're also going to have Tails. Both of those guys were confirmed in the trailer. Who knows what else we're going to have? With Knuckles being there, Knuckles, the Echidna, he's a guardian of the Chaos Emerald, which Chaos Emeralds lead to Supersonic, which was one thing I really wanted to see in the first movie, but we didn't see. I love the design of Supersonic. And I wonder if they're going to make Knuckles an idiot like they do in a lot of the modern depictions of Knuckles, like in Sonic Boom. And I wonder if they're going to make Tails a weakling, coward, nerd type character like they do in a lot of the modern depictions of Tails. Believe it or not, Knuckles and Tails in most media are almost as fast as Sonic, and they can handle themselves. I mean, so hopefully they'll be depicted accurately and nothing crazy as far as that goes. Bonus points if they put Shadow in there. I love Shadow. And a lot of people like to talk about the parallels between Sonic and Dragon Ball Z. And it's funny because Sonic is like Goku. And then his first rival is Knuckles. Knuckles was a bad guy at first. He comes to the good side. Knuckles is Piccolo. Shadow is Vegeta. Tails is like Krillin. You know what I'm saying? And there's just a lot of parallels between those characters. We even have Silver. Silver is Trunks. He comes back from the future. Now, he's not like Shadow's son, like Vegeta and Trunks, but he comes from the future to change the past. That's Silver. Silver is Trunks. So it's just like a lot of parallels between Sonic and Dragon Ball Z, and I don't know why. They even have Super Sonic and then Super Saiyan. They also have Ultra Sonic, which, to be fair, did come around before Ultra Instinct Goku, but it still has the white kind of rainbow aura that comes along with those different characters. And I like Sonic. If you want to watch the trailer, we're going to play it up top above. And yeah, let me just get it pulled up. One moment. Sega. Okay. So if you didn't know, the first movie was set in Toronto, I believe. We just saw the Space Needle. Not Toronto, I said Toronto, Seattle. And I liked Seattle. I actually went on vacation. It's probably one of my second favorite places that I've been on vacation. We see that boy Sonic. He's helping, looks like a getaway char. He doesn't know how to drive. He just blew up a road. Obviously, he's being a hero, but he's untrained. He still has a lot of energy, it looks like. We get a pod launched from space. The green lightning, that is probably the Chaos Emerald. We have Sonic and his friend. I forget his human's friend on here, his name. And they're on a boat. I can't remember if this came up in the first movie, but I wonder if Sonic can swim, because that's one of his weaknesses in the games and Sonic X the show. I do like Dr. Robotnik's outfit. He has much better drip in this movie. Okay, there's the Chaos Emerald confirmed. I have seen this trailer, but I'm rewatching it, and his mustache looks better. Jim Carrey can just play anybody. You know, I have not seen Jim Carrey ever struggle to play a role. We have Tails, we have Sonic. They're flying the plane. I forget the Tails' plane's name, but he does that in the comics, so. Looks like Robotnik had a device, and it was powered by that green energy. So it looks like Sonic is encountering Robotnik, and it's channeling the energy of the Chaos. Oh, that's the girl from Insecure, the big friend. Kelsey, I think her name is. We have Sonic doing cool stuff. We have Sonic saving Tails, so I wonder if they're doing the weak Tails. And then we have Sonic versus Knuckles. Do I look like I need your power? And we have the rain stop. And Knuckles has always been tough. Look how he's built. That boy is top heavy. Bink! And then this might be like based off of the Sonic, I believe it's Sonic 2, where Knuckles works for Robotnik at the beginning of that game, but he's being manipulated to think Sonic is the bad guy. So they might be doing that. Exclusive to cinemas, March 31st. That's really not that far away. I like Sonic. I always liked him. And hopefully they do this movie good. Based off of what I'm seeing, this movie only has the potential to be better than the last movie that we had. And I'm really excited for that. Up next, I'm going to be following the next theme of movies. As far as that goes, I do want to do a video over the best movies of 2021. I'm going to go ahead and talk about that now. Not really. I'm just going to give you a heads up. If you want to see that video, I'm going to go ahead and link it up above. And we're going to go over the best movies of 2021. I know it's been a light year because of the virus and everything like that, but cinemas have really been recovering. We had a much better year than we did in 2020. Also on top of that, we're also going to be doing the best video games of 2021. We're going to do like a top 10 for both of those lists, but with video games, we're going to also, on top of the top 10 in general games, we're going to do the best PlayStation game, the best Xbox game, the best PC game, and then the best Switch game. So if you're interested in stuff like that, I definitely recommend you watch the links up above. As far as that goes, what else have we been doing? I also watched the first couple episodes of Hit Monkey. It's a Hulu original show. Believe it or not, it's based off of a Marvel comic. And although the concept was kind of interesting, it has Jason Sudeikis. Sorry if I'm saying his name wrong. He is Ted Lasso, and I really became a fan of him after that movie. After that show, I really liked Ted Lasso. It's pretty good. Second season isn't as good as the first season. First season probably like a 9.5 out of 10. Almost perfect season. Second season probably drops down to maybe an 8 out of 10. Wasn't as good as the first season, but that really made me want to watch this movie because he's voice acting the show. He's voice acting there. But he kind of dies, and I thought Jason was going to be the monkey, but he kind of is the mentor to the monkey, and he's a ghost figure the rest of the show. And that kind of turned me off on it, so I was like, yeah, this really isn't as interesting. So I started the second episode, and it kind of lost me. But if you like violence, gore, Jason, monkeys, Marvel, this might be the type of thing that you should check out. I'm not going to link anything up there as far as that goes. What else have I been watching? Oh, I started, I like nature stuff. I like animal documentaries. I literally had my eyes watering the other day watching a Netflix animal documentary. I think it was called Our Planet. And it was about these flamingos. These flamingos, they live in like a salt marsh or something like that. And over time, the salt solidifies and it weighs down some of the baby flamingos. And not everyone makes it. And that's what the narrator says. And I'm just like, he can make it. You can help that guy. And it's just a baby flamingo hopping along with his legs covered in salt because the salt has solidified and the rest of the flock has left him behind. And then we just cut away to the next animal. So we're like, did he make it or not? Did he make it or not? And my eyes are kind of watering, and I'm not a real emotional person, but like, you can save that flamingo. I can understand not saving like a doe, like a deer from like a bear or something, or like a lion or a gazelle and a lion. That's different. You can help that flamingo. But anyways, back to topic. I was wanting to talk about the new Will Smith show where he travels the world. I like Will Smith. I like natural stuff. They were like at a volcano and stuff like that. But this show was kind of boring to me. I didn't really feel Will Smith's traditional charisma traveled through the screen and conveyed to me. I really didn't feel that like we usually feel through Will Smith. You know, Will Smith always plays Will Smith. And I really didn't feel his charisma in the show. I watched like the first episode and they traveled to a volcano, which is cool. And I'm just like, is it really that easy to travel to a volcano? Like, I know it's Will Smith and like that, but I just see like no protection, no guards, no fences. I would love to go to a volcano just to say that I did it. I want to like spit in the lava or drop a rock down there or push somebody in or anything like that. Like, I just want to go do volcano stuff. That's what they do at volcanoes, you know? So that's definitely on like my bucket list, to go to like a live volcano. That's pretty cool. We also saw the new Batman trailer, and I'm not a big Batman fan, but I'm not like a hater of Batman. Like, I respect what the guy does. I'm just not the biggest fan of Batman. You know, he's rich. He can apparently outthink anybody. He can beat anybody with prep if you ask anybody on the internet. He's just kind of emo goth. I love Batman when he has the Bat family. I love his interactions with Robin, Batgirl, Red Hood. I like him with Oracle. I like when Batman has a family. This is more of an origin story with Batman, so I'm just like, ugh. But it has Robert Pattinson, who I'm not like the biggest fan of Robert Pattinson either, but I'm definitely gonna go see this movie. We haven't seen a Batman movie with you know, the Riddler in there, really. So that's what we're really wanting to see. I'm going to go ahead and play this trailer up top, the Riddler Unmasked Batman. And I actually haven't watched this video, so I'm going to be watching this the first time with you guys. So we have some question marks, explosions, typical Batman stuff, Batman looking like Batman. This one that I have actually is in like Japanese or Asian or something like that. So let's watch one in English. Let's play a game. What is he, Jigsaw? The Riddler. So he's Batman, but is he going to be exposed as Batman almost immediately? And because DC, their movies are doing great, there's like so many continuities going on. Although it is a multiverse. So they have this Batman, they have Ben Affleck as Batman, they have the Joaquin Phoenix Joker, they have the other Joker, I forget his name, what's his name? Jared Leto Joker. And there's just so much going on in the DCEU right now compared to the Marvel universe, where it's kind of concise and they're only getting more thorough with it. So I never liked Batman when he has like that eye makeup on, but I've never really seen him without the mask on with the eye makeup, and it kind of looks cool. I don't know how I feel about Andy Serkis as Alfred. He's such a creepy guy. Like, you know, he does Gollum in Lord of the Rings, and it's just like, I feel like he should be more of a bad guy. Oh, wow. And I'm not a big fan of this Batmobile either, but that scene where it just drives out through the fire is pretty cool, and watching the Batman walking up to you. Yeah, so it's pretty cool. I mean, March 11th. Wow, that's actually much closer than I thought it was. March 11th is right around the corner. As of a recording, today is December 15th. So I'm really looking forward to this movie. As far as that goes, that's pretty cool. As far as movie stuff, I think that's all we have on movies. Oh, there's also this really cool Dragon Ball superhero poster. If you're interested in that, I think that's pretty cool. We can look at that real quick. As far as that goes, I'm not really a super big fan of this because it has Vegeta in his Buu Saga outfit, And so let's start from the top. This really gives me like Star Wars vibes, because you have the guy with the one on his chest. I forget his name. Everything's leaked. We know well, this plot isn't leaked. These character names are leaked. He has the hand up. It's kind of like Luke Skywalker was doing in the older movies. So we have Thing 1 and Thing 2. Those guys are apparently the bad guy. They work with the Red Ribbon. If you look at their outfits, they are kind of Red Ribbon-esque. The two guys on the left are also Red Ribbon guys. The guy in the blood red. That suit is kind of fire, though. Like, literally, that's a fire suit. We also have the guy in the violet. For a second, I thought this was a balding Hercule, because that's kind of his purple color that he wears. But then he's eating a cookie. Most likely, this is just going to be a mustache twirling guy who's hired the other guys. This other guy looks like an assistant. He's probably more gung-ho. And he's probably just going to eat cookies and talk trash the whole movie. As far as that goes, moving over, we have Piccolo doing the special beam cannon. Everyone actually is doing their signature moves. We have Piccolo doing the special beam cannon. We have Gohan in his purple. I love Gohan in the purple. I understand he wanted to rock with his dad in the orange gi, but Gohan in the purple, I feel like that's really who he is. He was raised by Piccolo. That was his main teacher as a trainer. And he just looks much better in the purple with the Namekian shoes on. As far as that goes, the shoes actually do look a little different. They have like a heel on them and they have like a curved heel. So like if you look at the bottom, there's like a gray bottom. Like, is that for grip? Like Goku's shoes have always had that. If you look at Goku's shoes, they have like a grip on the bottom. And their shoes are usually, check me if I'm wrong, they're usually like an orangish hue instead of this brown. If you look at it, Piccolo and Gohan also have different colors slightly. And then Gohan also, his hair looks great in here. His hair is wishy-washy. Sometimes it has that cool bang. Sometimes it doesn't. A lot of people say that's the earth part of him. His hair changes. But sometimes you'll watch a scene and he'll have the bang, and then literally the next scene he won't have the bang. Where does the bang go? Some people say that's when he does his Mystic Gohan or his potential unlock thing. I don't know. All I know is the bang is inconsistent. Next up, we have Goku doing the Kamehameha. The animation on this also looks pretty good. I did hear this movie is going to be in CGI, and I don't know how I feel about that. We'll just have to see. We also have Vegeta doing the Gallic Gun, and I hate this outfit. I hate Vegeta in this tracksuit outfit. It made sense in Dragon Ball Z because the less armor he wore, the more Earthling he was getting. So over time, Vegeta was wearing less and less armor. But they kind of threw that plot away completely when we went to Dragon Ball Super and Vegeta was back in armor. So, like, I would understand if he never left this outfit, but the fact that he went back to armor and now he's not wearing armor, it's kind of trash to me. Honestly, I like the design of his gray uniform, the one we got to see in Resurrection F. I didn't like the gray itself. He looks much better in blue, but the design of that outfit is nice. It's nice armor. And the fact that he's not wearing any armor at all in this design, I'm not a fan of it. I do like his boots. As far as that goes, we have this guy on the right. I guess he's a hero because he's on the right. I don't know him at all. His outfit does not look that great, but it's nice that we got another little plus size hero. He's probably not going to be very serious at all. None of the plus size characters are ever serious. You got to be skinny to be strong in here. And then there we go. We got Pan, boy. We got Pan. She has a GHT on there. And I wonder what that means. The H could be Hercule. G could be Gohan. But her mom's name is Videl. So I don't know what the T could mean. I don't know. And she has, are those purple eyes? Pan looks great in here. She doesn't have a signature move or anything like that. So obviously she's just standing there with her hands out. But I definitely like this Pan design better than what we have in GT. Mind you, she is much younger than what she is right now. But time is really flying because it was just a couple years ago that we saw Pan as a baby flying through the sky. So that's pretty cool. Up next, we're also going to be looking at the bad guys. This is an animated movie, and I think it looks pretty interesting. It kind of has like a Zootopia. Cannibals are bad guys. Herbivores are good guys, you know. So we're just going to play the trailer up top. Okay, so we have a wolf and a sports car. This has a really good cast, actually. It's also based off of a book. That's crazy. It's a DreamWorks movie, so we have a shark, a snake, a piranha, a spider, So we have Sam Rockwell in there, Mark Maron, Craig Robinson, Anthony Ramos, nice. Aquafina's in here. I also know Zazie Beetz is in here. Zazie Beetz is in here. Lily Singh, Alex Bernstein. So it has a cast. But look at this. We have this old lady who's blind. She can't really see that he's a wolf. And she tells him that he's a good boy. Is that a pun because he's a wolf? And he just feels so validated by this. Like, look, his tail is wagging and everything. He's like, oh. So, I mean, he's been a bad guy his whole life. Also, I love the soundtrack for this video because it has the Billie Eilish song Bad Guy. And I'm not a big fan of Billie Eilish or this song really, but the beat on this song is amazing and it works great on this movie. So basically they're trying to redo their reputation to not be viewed in a negative aspect all the time. And it looks like they turned themselves in, or maybe they got caught. It's hard to tell with the trailer. And basically these are just criminals trying to reform themselves. All their lives they've been told that they're bad people based off of their race, it looks like, or their species maybe. So they're trying to reform themselves. And I think that's interesting. I think it kind of was done already by Zootopia. So I'm not sure how it'll go, but we'll have to see, you know. Wow, the snake ate all the hamsters. They've gone to a better place. Wow. Are those cyborg hamsters? And he drives stick. I don't know. There's just something BA about driving stick in most things. It just looks cooler whenever you're shifting those gears and stuff like that. So it's going to be a DreamWorks movie in cinemas soon, so it doesn't have a release date, but I saw it the other day, so I wanted to show it off to you guys. I think that's pretty cool as far as that goes. So what else do we have? We also had the opening scenes released for Spider-Man, but literally I'm going to go see Spider-Man tomorrow. So I'm just gonna do a movie review. I'm gonna link that up below, up above. I mean, I already got one thing spoiled, and it's one of the things you don't want spoiled, and it was spoiled for me. So I'm just like, it was on YouTube, and it was like blah 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 blah, and it said spoilers on the top, and then it had something that I didn't want to see right there. Don't talk about spoilers and then have it on your preview. You know, like I know. I blocked the channel so fast. Like, I've blocked 2 channels over Spider-Man spoilers. And it's just possible. I need the internet. They're like, you should stay off the internet if you don't want spoilers. And I'm just like, it's the internet, you know? Like, and it's YouTube. That's like my main media consumption. Like, I watch YouTube videos all day. Like, I'll go through YouTube before I go through any other streaming service. And it's just like, why would you do that? So I had to block that. I didn't even follow that channel, but I did block another channel that I do subscribe to because I'm just like, you have to respect it, man. Like, you have to wait until the next day of a release, which, to be fair, it's the next day of the release in, like, Europe or something. Us Americans haven't seen it yet. So, like, come on now. That stuff was annoying. I say tomorrow, by the time this is released, I'll probably have seen it already. So, there's that. Up next, we're going to skip the Spider-Man opening, like I said, because we're just going to do a video. Next up, we're going to look at a video game. This is going to be Star Wars Eclipse, which we're late to because everyone else has already done videos on this. But I just want you to watch this trailer. And it might not be as good because, obviously, I'm not playing the sound because I don't know how to upload stuff with sound. And I'm not sure if, like, it'll flag the video or stuff like that. So I'm just going to do it without sound. But you should definitely, I'm gonna link this trailer in the description, and you should watch this video if you're a Star Wars fan, because it looks beautiful. This trailer looks beautiful. The sound is beautiful. The drums are beautiful, but I'm not gonna play it with sound. It's a video game. It's gonna be, and it's made by a Lucasfilm, obviously, and it's also Quantic Dreams. If you haven't played this game, which I haven't heard a lot of people that have, Detroit Become Human, wonderful game. I should actually replay that on my PS5. I bet it looks wonderful. Detroit Become Human, it's basically you have 3 main characters, you make different decisions, and they give you different outcomes. It's kind of like a Telltale game on steroids. It's way better than a Telltale game. It looks better, way better. You do other stuff besides that. And I think it's better than a Telltale game. Detroit Become Human, it's about androids who become sentient, and they try to earn their independence based off of that. But yeah, this is it. You can see, this looks like a brand new planet. You see Yoda right there. He's watching the sun. It is called Eclipse. We don't know what happens on the Eclipse, but obviously something. Some people are saying this is CP30. The parts before he's basically programmed. We have a green lightsaber, we have a blue lightsaber, we have women fighting. Star Wars has been doing a lot of exclusivity stuff. Inclusivity, not inclusive. So we have obviously 2 women fighting. One of them appeared to be black. There's these guys from the Confederacy, basically. We have a yellow lightsaber, another woman. These are probably the alien bad guys. Wow, they have a lot of troops. But yeah, just listen to this with the soundtrack. Who are these aliens on the drums? Looks like there's some space stuff going on. One thing about Quantic Dreams, at least in Detroit Become Human, I think they did another game. I think it's called Heavy Rain. I'm not sure. Your characters can actually die. Like my girlfriend at the time, she was playing this game and her character died. And when they say your characters can actually die, I'm just like, okay, they can actually die, but are they actually going to die? And they did. Her character died. So that's that. And these aliens, I don't know if they're good guys or bad guys, but we've never seen them before as far as I'm aware. And they look so interesting to me. And what is this figure coming out of the black sludge? I hate the connotations of black being negative, dark, you know. I hate black being used that way, but obviously something coming out of black goo is never usually a good thing. And we're just going off of society, you know. Black probably isn't good, especially in the connotation of the sun being blacked out. You know, the sun is the source of light, energy, maybe even the force, I don't know. And the fact that the sun is getting blacked out and we have this figure coming out of the gunk, that's also something that you should be interested in, as far as that goes. Also, one thing that you may have missed also, if you're not like Lord of the Rings fans, we have Lord of the Rings Gollum. And I think this is actually, I have never been a big fan of Gollum, although a lot of people are fans of Gollum. I'm not a fan of Gollum. And this game, hopefully we get some combat in it. But it looks like it's going to be stealth-based mostly. Like, you watch this. Gollum hits him on the back of the head with a rock. But my thing is, that guy was wearing a helmet. What was he wearing a helmet for? Okay, you got to be sneaky. Is he going to make it in time? Gollum actually was booking it, you know. Is he going to catch it? Oh, he didn't catch it. I think this is kind of like a throwback in the first Lord of the Rings when Pippin drops that little thing down the well and the whole thing just echoed. That helmet was kind of like that. But yeah, it does look kind of like low-key. And you have to look, he's probably going to drop this molten ore on them. So you have to do things from the shadow, which I don't really like stealth games like that. Hopefully it's not as bad as Thief, where there was 0 combat in that game, and you just hide the whole time. So yeah, it's just Lord of the Rings Gollum. And like I said, I love Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings Fellowship of the Ring is probably my favorite movie. But it's just like, I'm not a big Gollum fan, you know. Next up, I want to show off, if you haven't seen it, Sonic Frontier. Sheesh. Like I said earlier, I'm a big Sonic fan. And this game looks amazing. And this is what the open world Pokemon game should be looking like. But they don't. They don't, because those guys are lazy. Look at those trees. Is this in-game? We don't know if it's in-game, but I mean, none of the Pokemon stuff has ever looked this good. Even the stuff that's not in-game. And I'm talking about, yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's ever looked this good. Look at that. His speed is kind of pixelated. I don't know if I like that, but look at this scene. Open world Sonic. Who would have thought that we wanted this? This is definitely just a showcase of the world, but like, a lot of people say it's kind of similar to Breath of the Wild. And this scene specifically right here does remind me of Breath of the Wild. I've also heard a lot of people say it doesn't remind them of Breath of the Wild. I think Breath of the Wild just really revolutionized open world games that are outsidey and open and naturey, you know. Obviously, the design of the world looks very similar. Like, look at this tower. It looks like he runs up the sides of it instead of climbing it. But as far as that goes, the actual theme of it, like the grass, looks real instead of the cartoony kind of style that Breath of the Wild has. Obviously, it's different, but this definitely looks good. Like, what is this big thing that we have to fight? I hope we get some supersonic stuff in it. One thing I don't like about most games that are Sonic is you usually have to beat the whole game to get to supersonic. So it's just like, as far as that goes. One thing, this is a movie that I meant to mention earlier when we were talking about movies, but Snowpiercer. Me and my roommate Justin, we watched Snowpiercer on Netflix. I actually started this movie when I was younger, and I kind of remembered the ending, but I didn't remember the ending at the same time. So we watched it. He said this is one of his favorite movies. I guess I could see why it was being kind of good. It was kind of interesting. So basically, to prevent global warming, we have this thing called CW7 or whatever I think it's called. We shoot it into the atmosphere, but somehow there's a miscalculation. The whole world freezes over, and some eccentric guy who had built a global train, basically, everybody on those trains are the only ones who survived. First class, it's like an oligarchy. The first class people, they have cool stuff. And the people who got in, they got lucky. They live in the back of the train, and it's cramped, and at least they don't have to work. It didn't look like they were working. They were just stuck back there doing their own thing. And it's just like the slums, you know what I'm saying? So basically, the people in the slums, they rebelled. They don't want to be in the slums anymore. They want a little more equality. They basically pushed their way up by fighting and stuff like that to finally make it up to the front. The train's actually missing parts, and they're using children to support the train. In the end, the main character decides to blow up the train crashes, and they decide to basically live outside the train because a lot of people had theories that it's warming up, the world is warming up in the CW7, and the atmosphere is kind of not deteriorating, but the world is warming up to where it's hospitable outside the train. Honestly, I would rather have taken over the train in the front and lived there because they were living lavish versus living in a snow-covered world, even if it is livable. At the end, they do see a polar bear, and my roommate's like, look, it's a polar bear. That means people could have survived out there in the world outside of the train. And I'm like, I don't know if I'm on that part because it's a polar bear. Look at his fur. We're humans. I don't think a polar bear and a human have the same levels of hospitality. That's not what I mean to say. I don't think we can live in the same environments because, it's a polar bear. It's a little different as far as that goes. Another thing that we want to talk about, jumping back to games, we're going to be talking about The Matrix. If you haven't seen The Matrix Awakens or whatever, that game looks amazing. I cannot believe this game looks so beautiful. It's like playing a movie. And obviously the combat in the game really wasn't that good. It was more of a showcase on the graphics and stuff like that. But the fact that it was interactive was really cool. Hopefully the actual game is going to be much different than that. Because obviously, if you make a game that looks that good and it's only like what we were playing, it's kind of disappointing. But if you've ever played one of those things that like Incredible Pizza, Main Event, Chuck E. Cheese, where you're in like one of those cars and you're like, and you're shooting at like a dinosaur behind you and stuff like that, the circles pop up and you have to hit that and that. That's kind of like what the combat is. But hopefully the actual game is a little bit better. I'm going to put some clips up above so you can see kind of the graphics and stuff like that. Just be aware that whenever I do those clips off my Xbox, the quality always goes down a little bit, even though I'm coming from a 4K TV, Ultra HD, and a Series X. But yeah, enjoy. Next up, there is also a short clip. If you want to take a look at this short clip of a new video game. And it's kind of disappointing because as far as that goes, let me see if I'm looking for the trailer. What studio is this? Okay, so here's a short trailer. I'm not gonna, it's just enjoy, take a look. You see that gauntlet, you know who it is, and it's gonna be pretty cool because she's never gotten a video game. I've never seen her in a video game besides like the Injustice type games. So it's really interesting to see how they're going to do it. She's been getting a lot of popularity lately, ever since her movie came out a while back. So there you go. It's going to be a Wonder Woman movie. Not Wonder Woman movie, Wonder Woman game. So I'm just disappointed because the studio behind them, I believe they make the Shadow of War games, which, if you know, like I said, I like Lord of the Rings. So as far as that goes, since I like Lord of the Rings, obviously I'm kind of disappointed that we're probably not going to be getting another Shadow of War, Shadow of Mordor game, and it's just a little disappointing, that's all. As far as that goes, some studios do work on more than one game at a time, but most don't. It's just kind of like the studio who said that the studio who makes Sucker Punch, they make Ghost of Tsushima, they said they're going to be making a sequel, so I'm just like, when are we going to get the new Infamous game? Like, Infamous was hard. Like, Infamous put you guys on the map. I know the last one wasn't well received. I liked it. It wasn't the best, but where's another Infamous game? Bring us Infamous. Anyways, next up, we have another trailer. This is going to be for Alan Wake 2. And I never finished Alan Wake 1. I had it on my old Xbox, and I'm going to buy the remaster when the price goes down a little bit. So I'm going to play it. I hear the remake is much better, and I guess it sold pretty good. They were probably testing the waters on whether they wanted to make this actually debut for Alan Wake 2. Hopefully the combat isn't as repetitive. So that's what I've heard the first one suffer from. But this is going to be leaning more into survival horror, I've also heard. But it looks really nice. Like, look at the lights. Look at the lights reflecting in the water. I mean, this trailer doesn't really give us too much. But, he looks much different. Look at that. He looks super real. Look at the rain on his face. Look at the glimmer in his eye. This game definitely looks pretty cool. As far as that goes, next thing up, we have PlayStation also finally, after the fiasco with the dark plates with Xbox and GameStop, and not Xbox and GameStop, Xbox and D-Brand and whatever, they did that, the cease and desist. Xbox is finally released. Not Xbox, I keep saying Xbox. PlayStation 5 has finally released covers, and they have like a pink, a blue, I'm gonna put a picture up, and a black and all of that stuff. I really like the dark plates. I mean, when I was looking for a PS5, I would have got the dark plates if I had my PS5 at that time. Now I have my PS5 and I really don't play it that much, so I'm just looking at the ugly thing, and I just don't feel like investing any money into it. But yeah, they finally released PS5 covers, and they also have matching remotes, which I think matching remotes is pretty cool. But a guy like me, I just want an all black remote, a nice all black remote. This two-tone white, I'm not a fan, but I have two of them, so I'm not going to be getting a new controller anytime soon. I just think it's funny that they waited a long time, basically, to release those console covers as far as that goes. Just real quick, I also finally got my hands on the Switch OLED, and this thing looks beautiful. And I didn't think it was going to make that much of a difference, but it really does. It really just looks totally different. You will not understand how weak the old stand is until you get this new stand. Like, the old stand sucked. It sucked a lot. But this new stand is so adjustable, and you can just set it somewhere, and it stays. And I just love how sturdy this stand is. And then overall, it just looks so big. Even though the screen is the same size, like, and then the power button's a little different. It has like a little depress so you can fix it. I kind of prefer the old volume buttons better. You put the games up there. Not too much else has changed. I got the white just so I didn't get the Joy-Cons mixed up, because I have like 6 Joy-Cons, and I want to know which ones don't have controller drift. You know what I'm saying? So I know for sure the white, it looks best. Here's some gameplay of Breath of the Wild. I mean, it doesn't look, it's hard to convey to you how much better everything looks on here. I also got the expanded storage, you know what I'm saying? I haven't got a screen protector for it yet, which I know is a gamble, but I just wanted to show it off to you guys. I also recently got the Series X, which a lot of games do look much better, but honestly, maybe my TV's not nice enough. You know, I have a decent TV. It's not a $1,000 TV, but I just feel like between the Series X and the PS5, games look nice, but not nice enough for what I paid for them. You know what I'm saying? Like, for the PS5, I paid like $800 for that thing. And for the Series X, I paid like $600 for that thing. And I just don't think they're worth the price tag of what I paid for them. And I mean, that's just all it is to it. I don't think it's worth the money that I put into it. The OLED Switch, I think that might have been worth the money, especially since I had a first-gen Switch. So, you know, they had the Switch when it first came out, and then they released like a Switch version 2, which had like a better battery, but everything else was pretty much the same. And then they did the Switch Lite, and now they have the OLED Switch. So I have the very original Switch. And so this is a pretty decent upgrade for me, especially as far as battery life and all of that goes. But coming from the Xbox side, I had the One X, which was the best Xbox you can get at the time. I'm going to the Series X. Quick Resume is pretty cool. It's not as useful as I thought it would be, but it's still pretty cool as far as that goes. The system, the UI is exactly the same, so it really doesn't feel like that new of a console, you know? It's the UI is the same. I wish they would have changed it so it feels like a new console. PlayStation 5 is cool, but I don't like the UI on the PlayStation 5. I was coming from a default PS4 to the PS5, so that's pretty decent. Like, I definitely noticed game difference on that. Like, if I boot up Zero Horizon Dawn between the PS4 and the PS5, I definitely noticed a difference. In fact, that's what made me want to finish that game. Whereas the first time I played it, I really was not interested in it. But regardless of all of that, I just feel like it's not worth it. And if you haven't got one, do not pay more than market price. And sometimes you might catch a good bundle, which some might say, I got a good bundle. I wouldn't say so. Don't get these consoles if you're not getting them for regular price. Don't help those scalpers out. I got mine from GameStop and I got mine from Microsoft directly. So next up, I want to talk about some shoes. I want to look at these pure violet 11s. I do not have any 11s. And if you watched my podcast last week, you saw I am a fan of the 11s. Update, I did not get the Cool Jerk Grays. I was trying to get them, and I had 2 friends of mine trying to get those, and those things sold out instantly, boy. Good luck. I don't know if Sneakers has a bot problem or anything. I have never had any luck with the Sneakers drops. None of them. So, I mean, I wasn't really holding my breath. But these pure violet 11s, I like this light lavender. I have a hoodie that's actually this exact color, and I already have the fit planned out. These with like some black jeans and the violet hoodie. But with winter being the way it is, I mean, it's 76 degrees outside right now in Oklahoma. So it's just like, good luck finding the time to wear a hoodie. But I just want to show these off to you guys real quick. I don't think they have a release date yet. Let's see. Do these have a release date? They're going to launch in April, it looks like. April of 2020. They're going to be $190. And these are only for women's. Dang, I didn't see that. Otherwise, I wouldn't have bothered. But the women's always get the nice colors. My cousin Star, she has a pair of the Citrus 11s. The Citrus 11s, those things were nice. I wanted those so bad, but they only went up to size 10. So I'm just like, ugh. I wish I had smaller feet. I wear a size 11 and a half, and I really wanted the Citrus 11s so bad. I even considered getting like the fakes, like, because I found them, they were fake, but they had them in my size, and I'm like, who's gonna know? But I didn't, because we're authentic over here for the most part. But up next, I want to show you these other shoes. These are going to be the Jordan 3 Cardinal Red. These are also nice. I remember when I first got into shoes, I was like, I'm going to get a pair of Jordans in every color, in every shoe size. Obviously, that's not every shoe size, every number, you know. Geez, why are these? Honestly, I'm looking at these Cardinal Reds. I put them on my list for a reason. I must have thought they would be really popular at the time because, you know, I just make a topic list. I'm actually not a fan of these Cardinal Reds. Sorry. I'm not really a fan of these. I don't like the gray on the front with the black. I don't know what they call that. It's not like a cheetah print. I don't like that. And also, I'm not a big fan of lots of white because with Jordans, they're expensive shoes. And I know how I do with white shoes, you know. I wouldn't get anything more expensive than the Air Force Ones in all white. I do like the holes, these holes in gold, and then the gold Jumpman. Those are pretty nice. But overall, I don't think these are nice. As far as these go, these Cardinal Reds are going to be releasing next year. They're going to be releasing for $200, and they're going to be releasing February 24. So not too far away as far as that goes. What else? As far as gaming, there was a new Assassin's Creed Valhalla, which I am not playing Assassin's Creed Valhalla, but maybe some of you guys do. It's probably my least favorite Assassin's Creed game ever, and I'm just not a fan of it. But I did watch a little clip. There's a new DLC. It's free if you want to play it. It has Eivor, which is the main character of Assassin's Creed Valhalla, meet Cassandra, who is the main character of Odyssey. And I think that's pretty cool because at the end of Odyssey, we do find out that Cassandra is like immortal, and she's been around for forever. So now that she's immortal, all the games that take place from now on, they could basically just repeat this and have them keep meeting Cassandra because she basically lives forever, and we know that she lives until modern day because she meets Layla in the crypt or whatever. So we can keep doing that. I heard the DLC actually isn't that great, but that's just what I've heard. I'm not going to play it most likely, but I just wanted to give you guys a heads up if that was something you wanted to play. One thing that we're also having that's coming up, Vampire the Masquerade, which I really wanted to play this game. I really wanted to play the first one because I hear it's really good. And I downloaded it and everything. And it's just like, the graphics are too old, you know. It's just not appealing to me as far as that goes. But they're doing like this Battle Royale thing called Bloodhunt. And I'm going to put the trailer up above. And it looks really good. Vampire the Masquerade 2, it got postponed. But okay, so we got body types, hair colors, hair. Oh, I saw somebody with some decent dreads at least, so that'll be good. It looks like they're changing the style where everyone's not wearing, all the females at least aren't wearing panties and stuff like that. Oh, well, never mind. Look at this. Look at this. It's pretty revealing. Never mind. It looks pretty nice. Look at the rain off of her jacket and everything like that. Shink, cut that guy out. The Nosferatu, those are the ugly vampires. There's some games out there where you can just tell that they have some black people on their design team. And there's several games out there where you can tell that they did not have some black people on their design team, where they give us just the bad fade, the bad braids. It just doesn't look good. But this game definitely looks super cool. Oh, dang, they got vampire slayers. Oh, it's PS5 only? Or is it players? This is a PlayStation showcase, so I wonder if it is PS5 only. I hope not, because Xbox is my primary console, so, you know, I want most of my stuff to be on Xbox because that's what most of my friends play on. I think I only have 1 or 2 friends on PlayStation 5. That's pretty much it, guys. As far as that goes, we're going to do a little bit of D&D. Lately, this is going to be my quick review on the Gym Dragons, the new Gym Dragonborn D&D subrace. I never played Dragon Ball before, but the new Fizzman's Treasury of Dragons really piqued my interest, so I looked at the 3 subclasses. I did end up going with the Gym Dragon, which does sound super cool. No, I didn't. I went with the Chromatic because I was silver. Yeah, so I went with that. No, silver would be metallic. I actually can't remember which one I went with. But regardless of that, I got the one that had the 10 feet breath attack, and because of that, the breath attack really didn't come up too often because I was a long-range caster, so I really didn't optimize my race in my class very well. I was a sniping sorcerer, and my short-range breath attack almost never came up. And I was high level, and I had like 22 sorcery points, so I was almost never used the breath attack. I used it twice, and both times I did not use my incapacitation breath effect because I was trying to save it for later on. And then later on, I got put out of the fight because I got stuck in another dimension, so I really didn't get to use it. As far as that goes, I probably wouldn't play this Dragonborn again, and I'm glad we did it on a one-shot because I was actually going to do it on a campaign, and I would have been really salty if I wasn't able to do so. I can see why other people might like it. It's definitely better than the older Dragonborn, but as far as that goes, that's pretty much it. I know I have some D&D subscribers on my channel because I do D&D content, so I put this on the tail-end for you guys. I'm definitely going to do a little bit more. As far as that goes, we just did a session. In summary of that, I have a campaign ongoing where my characters are sailors. They are trying to restore the power of the god of that world, whose name is Jin, Master of Waves. Make sure you use his full title. He's very serious about disrespect. But basically, he's been depowered by, and he believes he was depowered by his brother Tahir. The party's job is to travel to the land of Tahir, confront Tahir, and basically re-empower Jin, who is going to reinstate himself as leader of the world. And that's what they're doing. They made a detour at a haunted ghost ship. Believe it or not, this ghost ship I put in play for Halloween. It was supposed to be creepy, but the party decided to ignore it. So all of the vibes that I had set up in this ghost ship, basically they happened this last week, and you know, it's December 7th. It's not really haunting anymore. I was gonna do a false Hydra because I think those are really cool, but one of my players, Jesse, who's my roommate, he was like, I bet it's a false Hydra. And I was like, why would you guess that? I'm not gonna make it a false Hydra now because part of the false Hydra is it has to be, you have to not know that it's a false Hydra. So I'm going to try it again maybe 3 years from now and drop it on them, surprisingly. But I found a new dragon in the Fizzman's Treasury of Dragons, and it was the Bone Dragon, and it's pretty cool. And obviously, it was a dragon, and it was last minute. And one of the players who's sitting next to me sees me going through Fizzman's Treasury of Dragons. She was like, I bet it's a dragon. Thanks for being meta. Anyways, I'm holding a book of dragons, so of course it's a dragon, but they stumbled on a hoard of gold. Meanwhile, the captain and one of the sailors, they were lifting up the gold and they were putting it back on the ship. Meanwhile, another group of the party, because they had split up, they had stumbled onto the dragon who was sleeping, and they were debating on whether they should leave or not. And it's very funny because in real life, they're talking and they're whispering, and then their voices just get slowly louder and louder. And one of them wants to leave because they don't want to fight a dragon. And then one of them wants to continue because the captain fell down here. Little do they know, the captain is just loading up on gold. They're taking gold and putting it back on the ship. Their voices get louder. And I say, well, as your voices get louder, the dragon opens its eyes. and it snorts a breath of air, and they look over and the dragon's awake. And I was like, as you guys were debating, your voices got louder and louder, and you awoke the dragon. It hasn't made a move. The party tries to defuse the situation. They're like, hey, we're not. The dragon does like a sensory spell, and it senses that the gold is missing. It assumes that they're lying about that, but really, little do they know the captain is actually, well, metally they do know, out of character they know, but the gold is missing, and they fight the dragon. They defeat the dragon eventually. One of them, I have a deck of many things. One of them pulls a deck, and it basically destroys the ship. It vaporizes the ship, and everyone falls into the ocean. Two characters go unconscious. They get back on the boat. They make it to the city of Tahir. They find a temple. They end up summoning Tahir, and presumably for combat. This story is almost over, by the way. And then we stop right there. I like to leave a cliffhanger. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Just a little D&D stuff. I will probably do what happens at the end of my session next game. I'm DMing right now, but I'm going to be a player after this, finally. I like DMing. I like being a player more, though. But yeah, thanks for tuning in. If you stuck through it, just go ahead and like it down below because you're dedicated. This is Trilogy with Trilogy Effect. This is Trilogy Talk Episode 2. I'll see you guys with Trilogy Talk Episode 3. Stay tuned for my videos that I linked in there, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.